In the midst of a sweltering summer where the air felt so heavy it seemed you could wring water out of it, I, once a staunch atheist, encountered an event that has haunted me to this day. Even now, recalling those hours of terror, my heart uncontrollably races. It was August 2016 in a small town in the southern United States, where I worked at a local factory. On that day, due to the scorching heat, the factory decided to cut costs by turning off the air conditioning. This decision undoubtedly made the indoor temperature even more unbearable than outside. Against this backdrop, a female colleague of mine, around 30 years old, feeling unwell, took leave and returned to her dormitory. Unbeknownst to anyone, that would be her last departure from her workstation. 2 hours later, she was found dead in her bed. During that time, I was trying to lose wheat and had lost about 8 pounds in a week. I felt so weak that the world seemed to spin even when I was standing. After finishing the night shift that day, I lay in bed, scrolling through my phone with mundane news until I finally drifted off around 2 in the afternoon. Suddenly, I was awakened by a bone-chilling cold, as if a giant freezer door had opened right in front of my head. Glancing at my phone, it was 4:10 p.m. The sun blazed outside, and the temperature was near 40 degrees Celsius. Yet I shivered uncontrollably. Even in the southern town I came from, where we were accustomed to sleeping under a thin blanket even in summer, the cold that seeped into my bones that day was unbearable. I tried to turn over, hoping to find some warmth. But as I did, I saw a woman standing in the corridor. She wore a white nightgown, floating as if she moved from the door towards the balcony. Her long hair draped over her shoulders and bangs covered her eyes, revealing only a part of her face. Her complexion was so pale it was nearly transparent, sending an immediate chill through my heart. My first reaction was shock. How could a woman appear in a men's dormitory? Then, panic set in as I realized I might be naked due to the summer's heat. I desperately tried to sit up but found myself unable to move, as if invisible chains tightly bound me. Remembering the ghost stories my family used to scare me with as a child, I realized this was the so-called sleep paralysis. Despite my fear, my curiosity was piqued. I struggled, but aside from being able to move my eyes, my body seemed disconnected from me. I began to speak to the uninvited woman in my mind, trying to persuade her to leave. "We have no quarrel," I said. "If you have any unfulfilled wishes, please tell me, and I will try my best to help you." But it was as if she couldn't hear me. My body remained immobile. Just when I was about to give up, a sudden surge of courage welled up inside me. I cursed loudly in my mind, struggling to move. Miraculously, my left index finger finally twitched. Seizing this glimmer of hope, I gathered all my strength and sat up. I checked my phone. It was 4:40 a.m. Still shaken, I decided to wash my face in the bathroom to calm down. Yet, when I lay down again, the piercing cold returned. Looking down, the woman reappeared, standing right beside my bed. After several attempts, I resolved not to try sleeping again. Sitting on the edge of the bed, every second felt like an eternity until my roommate returned, and the eerie cold vanished, never to see the woman again. Later, inquiring among the women's dormitories, I learned that the day of the incident was precisely 7 days after the female worker's death. This experience profoundly altered my view of the unknown aspects of our world, making me realize that our seemingly familiar world is still filled with inexplicable mysteries.